Happy Saturday, YouTube. Hope you guys are all blessed and enjoying your weekend. You know, the other day I had a great question by an agent, and the question was, why did I stop knocking on doors when I was making over $100,000 a month? And that's a great question. And a lot of the people that I've talked to over the years, they have a hard time understanding that, because I was grossing $100,000 in 2009, and we're in 2021. And it's easy for people to think, hey man, you should have just stayed with that and just built out your field agency and you would have retired by now. And you know what? There's a lot of truth to that. But sometimes you got to make decisions in life that are not easy, and you got to follow your heart. And for me, I feel like I did just that. You know, me living in California and doing business in California, Texas, Illinois, you know, one of our biggest challenges was generating leads. And what I mean by that is, when you're a door knocker, your number one lead, your foundation, is going to be direct mail, period. That's your most predictable type of lead source that you can have for your agency, especially if you're a door-to-door agent like I was for many years. The second one, I would say, is going to be a television lead. TV, you know, it goes up and down. When you got elections, you'll see a drop in your TV advertisement and response. It just happens. So direct mail for me and my group for many years was the go-to, was the foundation, because we can basically, you know, build a predictable pipeline of leads based on how many thousands of pieces of paper we send out to our neighborhoods. And we did that for years. And one of the great things about Lincoln Heritage is that they've always provided a fixed rate for their leads. And that's a game changer. But you know, when I moved on to pursue my dreams, I realized right off the top that not many carriers help you with support in terms of leads, and not many IMOs or owners of agencies are going to help you with that as well. They'll put you in contact with a lead vendor. They'll do that. They'll get you maybe a discount for every 1,000 records you send out, but that's it. Very few of them will go ahead and take the responsibility of the drop and then in turn charge the agent on a per lead basis. We found out the hard way just that fact. And as we were building our agency, you know, we were coming across this challenge. And in California, at times where our response was over a 1%, it's sad to say we started to see response rates of 0.5%. So if a lead used to be $30 a piece, now we were paying $60, $80 a piece. And in some cases, agents would send off their mail and they wouldn't get nothing in return. I'll tell you what, didn't take much for me to start really looking at my circumstance and saying to myself, what am I going to do? Truly. And for a brief moment, what I did for my group is that I took on that responsibility. I would pay for those records to be sent out every single month. I'm talking about thousands of records on top of our TV commitments. And when the lead would come back, myself and my leadership team, we would take the loss on every one of those leads so we can provide a fixed lead rate for my agents. And you know, we did that for a couple years. And then after that, it just hit me one day. That's why it took me 3 years to really transition on the phones. It hit me that I could avoid all of that nightmare of having to drop my direct mail, have to wait 2-3 weeks for all of that to come back, and more importantly, the investment associated with that direct mail. And I could avoid all of that by simply getting on the phones. Trust me, it wasn't easy getting on the phones, especially when I've had so much success knocking on doors. But I realized that if I didn't do anything, then I was going to be captive to somebody else that had deeper pockets, or I was going to be doing something I really didn't want to do at that moment in time. And that was losing money to provide my agents with that direct mail piece. So I looked at my agency, and I'll never forget, and I told them that we were all going to learn the telephones because we would reduce our marketing costs, we would reduce our waiting times, we would be able to work only TV leads because there were thousands of those, simply because we would be able to cover the whole country, not just California. And that is exactly what I did. In that year, out of my 250, 300 agents, only a handful of them were standing at the end of that year. The rest are probably still in the business, or probably knocking on doors, but a small handful of us stayed the course. And I'm so happy we did that, because it's been years since I worry about direct mail responses. It's been years since I worry about not being able to provide leads to my agents on a consistent basis. It's been years. Yes, I paid a sacrifice. I walked away from something that I was making a lot of money at as a door knocking agent. But you know what? I pursued my heart, and I pursued what I wanted to do. And that was to stay in this business. And there's a lot of you agents out there that are faced with similar circumstances. You can't afford to pay for direct mail. You don't have the resources to do it. And you're fighting to learn virtual. You're fighting to learn the telephones. If you're that person, your time is running out, because this business is so brutal that if you're not able to sell fast enough, you're not going to be able to take care of your family, much less build a residual income. The telephone can be perfect for you. And right now, that's what we've been doing for years now, but right now we're just pushing even harder. I just feel like we just started. COVID-19 just really opened up the doors to everything in terms of virtual and telephonic. For years, people would criticize telephone sales, but here we are. It's doable, it works, persistency is not an issue, and agents can learn. And I encourage you to learn the telephones. I encourage you to take that step. The good thing for you is that you don't have to pay the price we did. You don't got to make the mistakes we did. And more importantly, you don't got to lose the money we did, because we lost a lot of money, not just money, but time. When you're developing something new, you're putting in a lot of your energy. There was times when I would fight with myself because I knew I can go out in the neighborhood, hit the doors, and write the business I needed to. But I also knew that I couldn't afford to keep up that model personally. I needed to scale up, and I'm happy I did. Today, I show agents how to write 10 to 20 apps a week, all from the comfort of their home. I live in rural California. I no longer have to drive 100, 200 miles daily. I'm home every single day. I'm not missing supper, and more importantly, I'm spending the weekends with my family. I couldn't say that before. So if you're watching this, you're on the fence, maybe you're running out of options as a field agent. Maybe you sent out some mail and you got slaughtered in the response. Take me up on my offer. I'll hook you up with a contract, and I'll send you live calls. These leads are calling you. Within 48 hours of signing up, your phones will start ringing, and you'll be able to work in 10 states, including your resident state, selling final expense 100% over the phones. I have the playbook. I have the system. I got the strategies ready to go. All you got to do is follow what I show you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Stay strong. Stay in this business, because this business will change your life if you put in the time and the energy. Peace.